Friday morning, cloudy, but it's nice and warm out. So it is time for the first federal program. Tanner Lee is joining us as our host this week. Good morning, Tanner.
Good morning, Paul. How are we doing?
Better now that it's not freezing cold.
Yes, I like these temperatures.
Yes.
Yesterday was the nicest day of the year we've had today, in my opinion at least.
Yeah. But it concerns me for what the summer is going to be if we're 80 degrees in May.
It could be a little more. We'll see. I do see there's a day. I think it's next Saturday. I was looking at the weather today, the 10-day forecast. Next Saturday is supposed to be 57. So we're not quite in the warm season yet.
Right.
But I can get on board with these 70s and 80s already, and get outside, fresh air, and do some things. And, I like how it's getting light again pretty early.
I know we had a band concert for the middle school and high school last night, and it got over at 8 o'clock, and the kids were like, "Wait, it's still light out."
Yep.
Yeah.
In that time of year, it gets darker later and
lighter
earlier. So it's a good time of year.
Yep.
For that. I think the forecast this weekend, chance of rain here and there. Yeah, scattered
showers, possible thunderstorms, cloudy skies.
Indiana spring for it.
Yeah.
But we're in that time of year. School's winding down.
Mm-hmm.
Colleges are getting out either last week, this week, having graduations.
Yeah.
So summer's right around the corner.
Yes, it is.
I think it's June 21st. I think is the first day of summer.
Yeah.
I think 20-something. I think it's 21st.
And we're 17 days away from the unofficial kickoff to summer.
Yeah. So got the Indy 500 coming up here in a couple weeks.
16 days.
16 days. You guys are going to be having all the coverage for that?
Yep, we've got the Grand Prix this weekend, all qualification rounds, and then the race itself.
A bunch going on.
Oh, yeah.
Great time of year for the state of Indiana.
Yes, it is.
Well, Rochester Round Barn Golf Club at Mill Creek head golf pro Lee Cuddy is going to be our guest today. We'll be talking to him in a little bit. So I brought some golf-related trivia for you all, and
of course,
just like always, you'll get the whole length of the show to think about this. So hopefully, Lee won't give you any hints before.
Lee can give me all the hints he wants.
I know he can, but which golfer is tied with Jack Nicklaus for the most PGA Championship wins? PGA Championship is one of the 4 major tournaments that's coming up next week.
That I know.
So Jack Nicklaus, of course, has the most major victories of all golfers. I want to know who is tied with him for the most PGA Championship wins. And I'll give you your choice of 4 golfers here.
Thanks.
Is it A, Tiger Woods, B, Walter Hagen, C, Sam Snead, or D, Arnold Palmer? And like I said, you have all show to think about that and answer at the end.
Okay.
And Lee can answer to it, but I'll make sure you go first.
Oh!
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, we'll get right into some sports reports. A lot of national sports going on right now. We got the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs both going on. NBA playoffs, the Denver Nuggets advanced past the Phoenix Suns last night, so they're now in the Western Conference Finals, where they will await either the Los Angeles Lakers or the Golden State Warriors. Game 6 between those teams is tonight. I'll predict a Warriors win to force a Game 7 there. Okay. Now, I'm sure that's what the Nuggets are hoping for, because I think if it goes to Game 7, I think they'll have 5 days of rest. And they're probably hoping not only will that series go to 7 games, they're probably hoping that 7 games like a triple overtime game to get the team real tired. But that's been an interesting series, as has Boston-Philadelphia, which Boston, the Celtics beat the Sixers last night to tie that up 3 games apiece. Okay. So that series is Game 7 tomorrow night. Winner of that will go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the other Eastern Conference series is Miami Heat and New York Knicks. The Heat are up 3-2, so they could close that game out, that series out tonight with a win. But if the Knicks win one on the road tonight, it goes back to Madison Square Garden for Game 7 on Sunday. So could potentially see 3 of these series go 7 games, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on record not being the biggest NBA fan,
but
NBA playoff basketball is better than the regular season, and it is exciting to get some teams in the mix that aren't always there.
Yeah.
That's what's nice. So we will see how that all plays out. NHL, I didn't see the final scores last night. Besides, I do know that Carolina got past the Devils, so they're advancing to the conference finals.
Okay.
But I didn't check the box scores of the Seattle-Dallas game and any of that. I probably could pull out my phone and do that, but I won't. So, MLB, we are a month and a half into the season now. Your Cleveland Guardians, a little under 500, 17-20 record right now. But that's kind of the constant for the Midwest teams right now. Everybody's under 500. You got the White Sox at 13-26. It's going to be a long season, I think, for the Southside fans. Cub fans a little more positive there, but they're 18-19. They've kind of hit a bump in the road the last couple of weeks. Cincinnati Reds weren't supposed to be good, so I don't think the Reds fans were expecting anything. They're 16-21. The surprise around the Midwest is still the St. Louis Cardinals at 13-25. I think it's time to hit the panic button a little bit for the Redbird fans. It's something we're not used to seeing out of St. Louis.
Right.
So, and then as a Yankee fan, I mean the Yankees are sitting there 21-18, but they're last in the AL East.
Yeah.
Which is a tough division right now.
Yeah.
But they're starting to get a few guys back from the IL, so maybe they'll turn it around. I don't know. It's interesting right now around the MLB. I mean, you got some teams that are just really, really bad. I mean, I know I went over the records here, but the Oakland Athletics, I don't know if they're going to win 40 games. I'm being serious. They are awful.
I'm not sure Cleveland's going to win 40 games.
Oh, Cleveland,
okay?
well, they're already almost halfway there. So. But Athletics...
You don't know Cleveland.
Well,
Remember,
I think they'll win 40 games. Let's just put it that way.
remember, we can make it to the World Series, be ahead in games, and then lose the World Series.
Well, yeah, I won't touch on that. I won't bring it up to you touch the subject. I don't want your dad coming in here later and getting on that. So.
He's not listening yet. You're good.
One more thing on the national sports. The NFL schedule release was yesterday. They make a bigger deal about it every year. This year there was probably less leaks than usual, which I kind of appreciate. Because usually throughout the day you figure out your team's schedule, but this year there wasn't too many leaks, or if there were false leaks.
Yeah, and there were no Browns leaks.
No Browns leaks.
Nobody ever cares about that.
What I always like, especially somebody who's in the marketing field, I like to see what social media teams do for the schedule releases.
Yeah.
And they usually, a lot of them do videos or something pretty creative. I know the Broncos had Peyton Manning and did an Office spoof. It was for a guy who's also an Office fan on top of a Broncos fan. I really liked that. But there were some interesting matchups. The Lions are going to be the NFL opener against the defending Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The NFL must be buying into the Detroit hype.
Must be.
First time in a while you can say that.
Can we get some Cleveland?
Yeah,
well,
well,
they had to play good first.
you got to play good first.
Yeah.
Well, I could say the same. I was surprised that my Broncos got 3 primetime games. I think that's the Sean Payton effect. Because they didn't deserve it after last year. They got the maximum last year and they were terrible. So
I think the report around Cleveland was it's a 17-week fight.
Yes, it was. Yes. I like the graphic they used and everything. That was pretty good. Colts, no primetime games.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising. I mean,
but we'll have the season here.
Yes, you will. And they could always get flexed into a primetime game later
Right.
on with the new flexing schedule. But with Anthony Richardson quarterback and Jonathan Taylor running back, a lot of pieces, I thought they at least get one. But the Bears did get a couple. Bears got a couple. So we'll see. NFL, like I said, even in their off season, there's no off season. The NFL is always in the news, always has eyeballs on it. So, and the football season will be here before we know it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, summer's over.
All right. Well, I got some tidbits here this morning.
All right.
On this day in 1908, the wireless radio broadcasting was patented by Nathan B. Stubblefield.
All right.
I appreciate that one.
Yeah.
Also, music related on this day in 1965, the Rolling Stones' record hit single "I Can't Get No Satisfaction" was released. Still played on the airwaves today.
Yeah.
On this day in 1966, we were just talking about the St. Louis Cardinals a minute ago. Bush Memorial Stadium opened.
Oh, okay.
1966. Now they have a new Busch Stadium now, but it's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Around the baseball world. This day, 1973, the Indiana Pacers won the ABA championship. They beat the Kentucky Colonels 4-3. On this day, 1982, the USFL was formed. That was the first variation of the USFL. It's been recreated a couple times, and they still have the league going now today. But this was the one that was actually stealing some players away from the NFL and trying to really compete for a little while, but it didn't last too long. And on this day in 1994, the movie Pulp Fiction premiered.
Mm.
You ever seen it?
No.
No?
No.
John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I know some iconic lines from it, but I've never sat down and watched the entire thing.
It seems like every week now I'm finding a movie that you haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
So your list is starting to grow, Paul.
No, I was more into the nerdy movies. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Got some days. Today's some national days, but the first one's International Nurses Day.
Hey, that's important.
Day. Shades Day, as in sunglasses.
Those are always important.
National Nutty Fudge Day.
Okay.
National Public Gardens Day. National Limerick Day.
All right.
You wrote a limerick anytime soon?
No.
No. And National Odometer Day.
Okay.
So, I still want to know who comes up all these days and what.
You know, I've looked into this once just out of curiosity, and all you have to do is go on and fill out a form. They'll review it, and then I think you can pay even, and they'll review it a little looser.
Yeah.
But and then they approve it.
Can become a day?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it makes for a good statement here every Friday morning.
Yes, it does.
Well, some upcoming local events. The Times Theater, like they have been ever since they reopened, showing movies this weekend. They're showing Lyle Lyle Crocodile tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and it's free for children.
All right.
Admission, so I have not seen that one. I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's a kids movie.
Kids movie, but I maybe.
You don't have those yet.
No, you're right. Is that based off a book? Do you know?
I don't know.
I was gonna say I feel like it is, but
It might be.
I could be way off there.
It might be. So.
But if you're looking for some family fun, tomorrow morning, like I said, 10 o'clock at the theater, free for children. Got some money news. Dow Jones was closed down a little bit yesterday. It was down 221.82 points for a total of 33,309.51. But the futures were up this week. So, like Mr. Dick Belcher always said, it's going to go up or it's going to go down. So, it's going to do one or the other. Let's hope for up, but keep our eye on that today.
Yeah.
I also see some social media companies were in the news this week.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, did you realize, has 3 billion users?
Wow.
Most of those are older people. It was estimated, but 3 billion.
That's like almost half the world's population.
It's quite a few. So, you know, a lot of people want to say that Facebook's dying, this and that. We might not all agree with how Facebook's ran, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
But the interesting question becomes, of those 3 billion users, are they accounting for people who have multiple accounts or scam accounts too?
Probably.
So it could be less.
I'm sure they're just looking at a number of accounts.
So it could be closer to 2 billion.
Probably. Twitter is also in the news the last few days, of course. But it seems like Elon Musk is going to let go of his CEO title.
It's going to be hard for him, I think.
I think it is too. It looks like NBC Universal ad chief Linda Yaccarino, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I should have watched that. It looks like she's in line to be the new Twitter CEO. So.
And I bet the first thing she's going to do is take that white paint off of that W.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride for Twitter ever since Elon Musk came into ownership of it. But I still use it, still on it every day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Still prefer it over some of the others.
Yep, it's good for news, but of course, just like the others, you know, a lot of spam accounts, a lot of bots out there. Yeah. And you were telling me about the Disney Hulu agreement.
Yeah, so Disney and Hulu, they've been partnering, but they're finally going to combine everything.
Okay.
Sounds like. They've had a bundle for a couple of years now, since pre-pandemic time, where you can buy Disney Plus and get Hulu and ESPN, or you can just get Disney, Hulu, or whatever. But I think now it's going to be you pay this, you get both.
Seems like the way everybody's going, packaging things up. So, well, so many streaming options out there too.
Yes.
Got to make yourself the most attractive one, and a lot of people are trying to figure out which ones to cut, this and that. So, streaming wars are definitely real.
Yes, they are.
Well, First Federal Savings Bank, we're open today from 8:30 to 5, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. You can always bank with us online and with our free mobile app. And if you're looking for some cash, our ATM's open 24/7 as well, and we are part of the MoneyPass network. So if you're traveling over the weekend or out of town and not sure where you can go to use an ATM and not charge a surcharge fee, go to moneypass.com, find the other ATMs on the MoneyPass network, you can use that, and you won't get a surcharge fee.
All right.
Well, for Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts, right now when you open up a new checking account, you will get a free gift, and you have a choice between two potential gifts: LED lamp speaker or a First Federal Savings Bank insulated mug.
All right.
And you can always refer a friend too. If you have a checking account already, don't feel like opening up another one, but you really want that gift. You know of a friend that doesn't have a checking account, or maybe they're unhappy with their financial institution and looking to switch. If you refer them, for instance, Paul, you refer somebody, they go in, open up an account, say that you sent them, they not only will get a free gift for opening an account, you will as well for referring them.
Yep.
And you can do that online too.
You can.
So you can do it in multiple ways. We still have our 9-month CD special going on right now. You can open up a 9-month CD for a 4.32% annual percentage yield. So it's a great rate. So take advantage of that while you can. And we still have our closed-in second mortgage special going on through the end of the month, through May 31st. With that, borrowers will receive a reduced rate. They'll pay low closing costs. This is really good for consolidating debt. You must be a first lien holder with First Federal Savings Bank.
All right.
But also take advantage of that deal while you can too. We offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Lending Breeden for more information. His direct line is 574-223-1716. And if you're thinking about retiring, or wanting to plan on retiring here in the next few years, want to get your 401k going, or talk about 401k, IRAs, anything of that nature, contact Mark Blueball or Brian Bell from Financial Services Department for more information. They can help you out there.
Okay.
You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FF Banking, like us on LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can see an archive of the First Federal radio shows from the past 4 years. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
That makes us legal and ready to get to the meat of our program, which is our interview with Mr. Lee Cutting, who is the head PGA Golf Pro at Round Barn Golf Club at Mill Creek. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining me this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, absolutely. Anytime. I'm always pumped to talk some golf, so this is right up my alley. For those who might not know you around the community, why don't you give a brief introduction of yourself?
Sure. Obviously, my name is Lee Cutting, the head pro at Round Barn Golf Club. A little bit of background about myself. I actually have been playing golf since I was about 12 years old. A lot of competitive golf, mostly amateur status, but basically, as I got older later in life, I felt like it was important for myself to kind of teach younger kids and youth that are coming up more about the game, because the game has opened up so many avenues for me in life in general, from a business standpoint to just learning responsibility and the morals and the etiquette of the game. So to me, it's important for me to be able to provide that avenue for the youth of of our area to get them involved in the game and kind of growing in the game. So I take a lot of pride in that.
Sure. I mean, the youth is the future.
Absolutely.
In so many ways, especially in the golf world. And now, this head pro job's not your first head pro job, correct?
No, actually, I used to own. I was part owner of LaFontaine Golf Club and Norwood Golf Course, both in Huntington, Indiana. Myself and two business partners purchased both courses in 2014. I was the managing director of both courses through 2018. In which at that time I decided to go back to the medical field and sold my portion back to my two business partners. Was back in the medical field for about 3 years, and the opportunity arose over here to potentially interview for the head pro position here. So I met with the city and kind of chatted with that, got the details worked out, and I think it's been a great move for myself, and I feel like I'm bringing some good things to the community as far as the game and just teaching individuals and kind of growing the game within the city of Rochester.
Yeah, you absolutely are. I can attest for that. What made the job at Round Barn so appealing to you? What made it so appealing that you wanted to get back into the golf industry?
I would say probably the biggest thing for me was the small town atmosphere. I'm from Huntington, Indiana, which is very similar in size to Rochester. So it was kind of near and dear to my heart, so to speak, that, to be able to come over here and get my hands back into the game, get my, my knowledge and my skill set, to be able to teach, not just the youth, but also, women golfers, men golfers, all the above, to get, get them excited about the game, and golf is a huge asset to the community.
Sure.
With that being said, so I think the small town atmosphere, the small city feel, everybody knows everybody, and I think just in my short period of time, this is my 3rd year as the head pro. I think I've developed some great relationships with the community, individuals within the community, the high school, the programs there, the middle school, all the above. So. I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was just, getting the opportunity to be able to, again, teach individuals and grow them in the game in a small town community. So.
Yeah, you brought up some great points there, and I think, a lot of people around here obviously understand how important the golf course is to the city of Rochester. It has been for many years, ever since I can remember, my 31 years of existence, because not only is it big for the community, but it's also big in a sense of drawing people outside the community coming in and spending money around the community.
Absolutely.
Because, as a golfer myself, I like to go to different courses, play different courses. When I go somewhere new, I'm not only going to probably play that course, I'm probably going to eat at a restaurant or maybe shop at a store and do things like that.
Right.
So it can be a money driver in that essence as well.
Yeah, and we see a ton of that to kind of piggyback off of that, Tanner. We see a lot of business from, the Mishawaka, South Bend, Southern Michigan area. And oftentimes that exactly is what happens. They play that round of golf. Hey, where can I get a bite to eat? So, I kind of forward them over to the Dame Landing or Townsend's, the deli or the Mexican restaurant up by Walmart, because we do, for Rochester being such a small community, we really have Giretti's. I mean, you name it. There's just a plethora of really good restaurants, and the atmosphere here in Rochester, is great. From the downtown setting to, like I said, the Dam Landing to the golf course, and I think, the Round Barn Golf Course is kind of a hidden gem. So
Yes,
to speak.
it is.
It's you hear a lot about municipal style golf courses. I don't think that the Round Barn kind of fits in that cookie cutter of the municipal, style golf courses. I think the community is very lucky in the course and the conditions that that the golf course is in. I'll tell you, it's one of the nicer municipality courses that I've seen or played for that matter. So. The community is very lucky to have that and blessed.
Yes, and I remember to piggyback off that, when I was in high school, and we golfed whenever we'd host a home match or a tournament, the way golfers would always complain how tough they thought our course was.
Yeah.
Tuesday was they complained about how much water was on the front nine, different things, to where somebody who was playing it multiple times a week, you didn't think about that.
Yeah,
you
don't
got
think
used
about
to
that
it,
stuff.
and,
Right.
and so, like you said, it is a hidden gem, I think. And I was talking with one of my friends who now lives in Connecticut, and he's played our course multiple times. And we were just talking on the phone the other day, talking about golf, and I was asking him if he's had time to play or anything. We got talking about Rochester, and he was saying how much he wants to come back and play the course again because he enjoys it and thinks it's a great municipal course.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
So right along with what you're saying there. So what's been going on at the course so far in 2023?
Well, obviously it's been a struggle with the weather.
Yeah.
We kind of got a weather break in the last couple of weeks, but we've been waiting on that warmth to come about, and I think it's finally here, knock on wood. But yeah, just kind of wrapping up, the biggest thing right now, as I previously explained, I'm a huge component for high school golf and the youth. So right now we're wrapping up the boys' high school season, and I will tell you, that has been a pleasure in itself. Not just working with the boys and watching them grow, but my dealings with Coach Darren Parker from Tippy Valley High School and Coach Mason Heidi from Rochester High School, as well as Mike Nixon, who is our middle school coach. I can't stress enough just the desire and the will to want to see these kids succeed. These three individuals are not only just great coaches, but they believe in their kids. They want to see their kids succeed, and I can see that on a daily basis with working with the three of them. And even working with Kevin Reedy, the athletic director at the high school. Those kids are very blessed to have those individuals in their lives because, like I said, they not only care about them as individuals and succeeding in golf, but they want to see them do academically well, and and like I said, just dealing with them on a daily basis, I get to see that, and that's really near and dear to me. Just to see, like I said, I want to see these kids succeed, not only on the golf course, but also academically and in life in general. So, it's been a huge pleasure working with those individuals and working with the teams. And Tippy Valley and Rochester both have some really good players on their golf teams. And not just that, I mean, those kids that are also really good at golf they amaze me at their academics. I mean, we have some really smart kids on the golf team that their morals and their ethics they're all in the right place. And it's really cool to see. So outside of that, we've got the Round Barn Tour events are starting this Sunday, the 14th. We've got, in case anybody wonders what the Round Barn events are, it's kind of our FedEx Cup, so to speak. 10 to 12 events. And it's open to the public. You just have to have a USGA or a Jenny handicap to be eligible for those events. But like I said, they would like to see those events grow a little bit. And basically what that is it's a running tally of how you finish in each event. And they keep a running tally of point systems throughout the entire year. The top 10 to 12 individuals get into the shootout at the end of the year. And it's a really cool setup that they have going on there. So, like I said, that starts here the Sunday the 14th. We have flyers available down at the Pro Shop. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at the Pro Shop via phone, or just stop down and see us. We can get you some information on that. A couple other things, obviously Mother's Day is this Sunday the 14th. One of the things that I would like to see, obviously we talk about youth movement, women movement in golf, all the above. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to provide free golf for mothers on Mother's Day.
That's great.
Obviously they would have to pay for their card if they come in, but we're going to take care of their greens fees. I would love to see as many mother and children out there playing as possible. So that's one of the things that we're going to do this year for the Mother's Day thing. Haven't quite set a date yet, but some really exciting things that we've got going on. We do a free kids clinic every year, and the cool thing about that is not only does that allow me to get out and meet these kids, we have a huge following from the high school coaches to the high school players. They donate their time, they come out, they help with these kids. And basically what it is, we try to keep it fun for the kids. We're going to focus on fundamentals, the etiquette of things, kind of the do's and don'ts of golf. But generally what we do is we try to do like a Tuesday, Thursday type thing that would last about 3 weeks. So generally about 6 events. And then on the final event, we take them out on the golf course, play a couple holes, provide some snacks for them, do some fun games. And this will be through year 3 for the kids clinic. We've averaged about 20 to 28, I would say, kids at each year. So loving to see that, loving to see the kids get involved, and they get so excited for this, for this clinic. Yeah. It's really cool to me to see the excitement that they bring, every day when they're there. So keep an eye on our Facebook page. Right now, I haven't quite got a date set for that. We're thinking late June, early July. I'm just, getting some dates set with my volunteers to find out what works for them. So, but like I said, keep an eye on Facebook, we'll get those dates set, and would love to see everybody get involved with that. Again, kind of piggybacking on the kids events, we've got the Marshall County Tour coming up June 19th, as well as the Little City Tour July 17th. Super cool IGA, PGA events that they travel all across the state of Indiana and play at different golf courses. Luckily, they have chosen the Round Barn every year for the last 3 years to play an event at our course. So with that being said, I love to be able to support them in any way, shape, or form that I can. So we've got some flyers at the course in regards to that event, gives you some details, sign-up sheets, etc. So, if you have any questions in regards to that, please come down and see us. We would love to get your kids involved with what's coming up.
And I don't think I can stress enough how important it is to get your kids involved, if they're serious about golf, in tournaments. I grew up playing on the Little City and Marshall County Tour, going to clinics, so everything Lee's talked about, I have experience growing up, and it was just important, even at a middle school age, getting that competition factor going in tournaments, because you learn a lot. You
do, and there's something to be said about playing in competitive events. Just rather than going out playing with your friends. Yeah. It kind of gives you that little bit of a nervous feeling, sure. And that's to be expected. If you didn't get nervous, you probably didn't care. Yeah. But there's something to be said about getting that competitive round under your belt before middle school and high school events, things like that. So it's definitely a good experience for them, and I encourage all the kids to get involved in that.
Absolutely. So. I know we're about running out of time here, but I know a lot of outings are upcoming here soon.
Yeah.
The course is kind of getting to the outing season. I know June's packed, I know, locally, with a lot of outings going on.
We do. We have a ton of outings coming up. Obviously, with me being a huge supporter of the high school, we've got outings coming up for the high school football team, the basketball team, the wrestling team, as well as other events. I've got some scrambles that I'm putting together through the golf course. We've got some corporation events that are housing their outings at the course. But if you ever have any questions in regards to whether an outing is open to the public or whatever it might be, feel free to call the golf course, check our Facebook page, contact myself, and I would love to be able to give you some more information in regards to those outings.
Perfect. Well said. Well, anything else, Lee, that you'd like to plug this morning?
I think that's, pretty much, I think we covered a lot here. Right. I just, like I said, I can't encourage people enough to get involved, and, I provide lessons at the golf course, so, I like to see all levels of players from beginner to...
You're never too good to take a lesson. I mean, the PGA Tour players take lessons.
You're absolutely right, Tim. Yeah, it's, I've been playing golf since I was 12 years old, and I'm 42, and every now and then I can still use a lesson myself, so couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, so well, thank you, Lee, for everything not only you do for the course, but for the community, and we're lucky to have somebody like you running our golf course.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, it's trivia time. Like I said, Lee can participate too, but you are giving your answer first.
Okay.
Which golfer is tied with Jack Nicklaus for the most PGA Championship wins? Tiger Woods, Walter Hagen, Sam Snead, or Arnold Palmer?
Well,
25% chance.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got 25% chance.
Some of those just don't seem like they should be, based off of timing and everything. So I'm gonna go B.
Walter Hagen, you saw my paper, didn't you?
Fantastic.
No,
That is a fantastic guess.
Yep.
no,
He's good at that. He's good at that.
And you kind of a funny backstory. I only know this because Walter Hagen, actually, his favorite golf hole was on LaFontaine Golf Club.
Really?
The course that I used to own in
Yeah.
Huntington, Indiana. Yep, hole number 11.
I was going to say which hole, because
Yep.
he played there in high school.
Hole
so-
number 11 was
Interesting.
Walter Hagen's favorite hole.
Interesting.
Yep.
I learned something this morning.
all right.
And we're going to wrap up with some words of wisdom from P.G. Wodehouse, who is an English writer. To find a man's true character, play golf with him.
All right. Those are great words of wisdom. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Paul.
With those words of wisdom, this has been the First Federal